10 iconic films, 9 passionate affairs, 8 tabloid scandals, 7 career-defining roles, 6 years of unexplained absence, 5 decades of speculation, 4 continents of fan theories, 3 rejected Hollywood offers, 2 lives, the public and the private, and 1 earth-shattering secret Edwige Fenech has kept. Until now. Fenech's early years in Algeria. She entered the world on December 24, 1948 in Beaune, French Algeria. Her father, a Maltese-Italian architect, and French mother raised her in this vibrant coastal city. The multicultural environment of her childhood would later influence her diverse career. At 16, Edwige Fenech made a life-changing move to Italy. In 1966, she participated in the Miss Mascotte Ciné competition in Trieste. Though she didn't win, her striking looks caught the eye of industry professionals, leading to her first modeling gigs for Italian fashion magazines. 1967 marked Fenech's film debut in Samoa, Queen of the Jungle. This low-budget adventure film didn't make waves, but it set the stage for her cinematic journey. That same year, she appeared in All Mad About Him, showcasing early signs of her comedic timing. By 1968, at just 20 years old, Fenech had already appeared in 5 films. Her role in Top Sensation alongside Rosalba Neri hinted at the star power she would later fully embody. In a 1969 interview with Cinema 69 magazine, Fenech revealed, "I never planned to be an actress. It just happened, and suddenly I was in front of the camera." The late 60s saw Fenech transition from bit parts to supporting roles. She worked with notable directors like Mariano Laurenti and Fernando Di Leo, rapidly honing her craft. Each role, no matter how small, contributed to her growing repertoire of skills. By the end of the decade, Fenech had appeared in over a dozen films. Her work ethic was already becoming legendary in the industry. She often moved from one set to another with barely a break in between. This period laid the groundwork for her meteoric rise in the 1970s. Rise to stardom in Italian cinema. The dawn of the 1970s marked Fenech's breakthrough in Italian cinema. In 1970, she starred in The Seducers, a comedy that showcased her talent for light-hearted roles. The film's success led to a string of similar projects, establishing her as a rising star in the commedia sexy all'italiana genre. 1971 proved pivotal for Fenech's career. She appeared in 7 films, including The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward, directed by Sergio Martino. This giallo thriller became a cult classic and launched a fruitful collaboration between Fenech and Martino. They would go on to make 5 more films together over the next 4 years. Fenech's popularity soared with roles in All the Colors of the Dark, 1972, and Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, 1972. These films cemented her status as a scream queen in Italian horror cinema. During this period, Fenech averaged 6 to 7 film appearances per year, an incredible workload by any standard. In a rare 1973 interview with Cine Review, Fenech reflected on her rapid rise. "It's been a whirlwind. Sometimes I feel like I've lived several lifetimes in just a few years." By 1972, Fenech had become one of the highest-paid actresses in Italian cinema. Her films consistently performed well at the box office, with Ubalda, All Naked and Warm, 1972, grossing over 1 billion lire in Italy alone. Despite her success, Fenech faced criticism for her roles in erotic comedies. She addressed this in a 1974 interview. "I'm an actress. I play roles. What's on screen isn't always who I am off screen." This period also saw Fenech refine her craft. She worked with some of Italy's top cinematographers, including Giancarlo Ferrando and Stelvio Massi. These collaborations helped her develop a keen understanding of camera work and lighting, which she would later use to great effect in her performances. The golden age of giallo films. The mid-1970s saw Fenech at the height of her giallo period. In 1972, she starred in The Case of the Bloody Iris, directed by Giuliano Carnemeo. The film's intricate plot and Fenech's compelling performance solidified her position as a leading lady in the genre. Her portrayal of Jennifer Lansbury, a model caught in a web of murder and deception, showcased her ability to balance vulnerability and strength on screen. 1973 brought Anna, the Pleasure, the Torment, a psychological thriller that pushed Fenech's acting abilities. The film tackled themes of identity and madness, earning critical acclaim at the Avoriaz Fantastic Film Festival. Fenech's nuanced performance as a woman grappling with her sanity demonstrated her growing range as an actress. Fenech's collaboration with director Sergio Martino reached its peak with Strip Nude for Your Killer, 1975. The controversial film drew both praise and criticism for its graphic content. It grossed over 1.5 billion lire in Italy, becoming one of the year's highest-earning films. Fenech's fearless approach to the role of Magda, a model-turned-amateur sleuth, cemented her status as the Queen of Giallo. During this period, Fenech worked with other notable directors like Andrea Bianchi on Naked Girl Killed in the Park, 1972, and Marcello Andre on Secrets of a Call Girl, 1973. These partnerships expanded her range and cemented her status as a versatile actress capable of handling complex, morally ambiguous characters. In a 1975 interview with L'Europeo, cinematographer Giancarlo Ferrando said of Fenech, "She has an innate understanding of how to move on camera. It's rare to find an actress so naturally photogenic." By 1975, Fenech had starred in over 40 films, an astounding number for an actress just entering her late 20s. Her work ethic and ability to balance multiple projects set her apart in the competitive Italian film industry. She often worked on 2 or 3 films simultaneously, moving between sets with remarkable ease. Fenech's controversial public image. As Fenech's star rose, so did public scrutiny of her personal life. In 1975, Italian tabloids speculated about her relationship with actor Fabio Testi, her co-star in Strip Nude for Your Killer. Neither confirmed the rumors, but paparazzi photos fueled gossip for months. The media frenzy surrounding their alleged affair overshadowed the film's release, much to Fenech's frustration. 1976 saw Fenech embroiled in controversy when she declined a role in Tinto Brass's Salon Kitty. The part went to Teresa Ann Savoy, and the film's explicit content sparked debates about censorship in Italian cinema. Fenech's decision to pass on the role was seen by some as an attempt to distance herself from overly provocative material. Fenech's high-profile relationship with Italian-American producer Luciano Martino began in 1977. Their partnership, both personal and professional, lasted several years and produced numerous films. In a 1979 interview, Martino stated, "Edwige brings an unparalleled energy to every project. She's a force of nature on set." The late 1970s brought a shift in Fenech's public persona. She began to distance herself from the sex symbol image, seeking more diverse roles. This transition wasn't always smooth. In 1978, she turned down a role in Federico Fellini's City of Women, a decision she later described as one of my few regrets. By 1980, Fenech had appeared in over 60 films. Her work ethic was legendary in the industry. Cinematographer Sergio Dofisi recalled in a 1981 interview, "I've never seen anyone work as hard as Edwige. She'd often go from one set to another without a break." Despite her efforts to reshape her image, the public's perception lagged behind. Fenech addressed this in a candid 1980 interview with Augie magazine. "People see what they want to see. I'm more than the characters I play. It's time for a change." Transition to mainstream success. The early 1980s marked a significant shift in Fenech's career. In 1980, she starred in La Patata Bollente, a comedy drama that showcased her range beyond the genres she was known for. The film grossed over 2 billion lire, proving Fenech's box office draw remained strong. Her portrayal of Maria, a woman caught between 2 men, demonstrated her ability to handle more nuanced, character-driven roles. 1981 saw Fenech take on her first major television role in the miniseries Bello di Papa. The show averaged 15 million viewers per episode, introducing her to a broader audience. This success opened doors to more diverse projects and helped reshape public perception of her as an actress. In 1982, Fenech collaborated with comedy icon Lino Banfi in Ricchi Ricchissimi Praticamente in Mutande. The film's success led to 3 more collaborations with Banfi over the next 2 years. Their on-screen chemistry resonated with audiences, with their films consistently ranking in the top 10 at the Italian box office. These comedies allowed Fenech to showcase her often overlooked comedic timing and charm. 1984 brought a career milestone with The Corsican Brothers, an international production co-starring Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. While the film received mixed reviews, it expanded Fenech's global recognition and marked her first major English-language role. The experience of working on an international set proved invaluable for her future career moves. By 1985, Fenech had successfully repositioned herself in the industry. She starred in the critically acclaimed TV series Ferragosto OK, which averaged a 30% share in its primetime slot. This period also saw Fenech take her first steps behind the camera, expressing interest in production and direction. She began to study the technical aspects of filmmaking, laying the groundwork for her future career as a producer. The untold story of her hiatus. In 1985, at the height of her newfound mainstream success, Edwige Fenech suddenly disappeared from the public eye. This abrupt hiatus sparked widespread speculation in the Italian media. Rumors ranged from health issues to secret Hollywood projects, but Fenech remained silent. During this period, Fenech turned down several high-profile roles. She rejected a part in Dario Argento's opera, 1987, and passed on a television series that would have made her one of the highest-paid actresses on Italian TV. These decisions fueled further speculation about her absence. In reality, Fenech had retreated to her villa in the countryside near Rome. Close friend and director Stefano Vanzina later revealed in a 1990 interview with Sciac magazine, Edwige needed time to reassess her life and career. The pressure of constant public scrutiny had taken its toll. Fenech used this time to pursue personal interests away from the camera. She took up painting and studied literature at the University of Rome. These pursuits would later influence her approach to selecting and interpreting roles. In 1987, paparazzi photos emerged of Fenech in Paris with French businessman Jacques Reverchon. The images sparked rumors of a new relationship, but Fenech maintained her privacy. It wasn't until years later that she confirmed they had indeed been together during this period. By 1988, the film industry was rife with rumors about Fenech's return. Several directors, including Tinto Brass and Lena Wertmuller, publicly expressed interest in working with her. However, Fenech was selective about her comeback, carefully considering each offer. When she finally returned to the screen, colleagues noted a marked change in her approach to acting. Cinematographer Tonino Delli-Colli remarked in a 1989 interview, "Edwige came back with a new depth. Her performances now had layers that weren't there before." Comeback and reinvention. Fenech's return to the spotlight in 1988 was marked by her role in the film Fratelli d'Italia. The comedy, which grossed over 3 billion lire, proved that Fenech's star power remained undiminished. Her performance as a sophisticated businesswoman was a far cry from her earlier roles, signaling a new direction in her career. In 1989, Fenech took on her most challenging role to date in The Bachelor, a dark comedy directed by Roberto Faenza. Her portrayal of a complex, morally ambiguous character earned critical acclaim. Film critic Paolo Marighetti wrote in Corriere della Sera, "Fenech reveals depths previously unseen, delivering a performance of surprising nuance." The early 1990s saw Fenech focus on television work. She starred in and produced the successful series Delitti Privati in 1993. The show, which ran for 2 seasons, averaged 6 million viewers per episode. This venture into production marked a new phase in Fenech's career, allowing her greater control over her projects. Balancing her career with motherhood became a priority during this period. Fenech gave birth to her son, Edwin, in 1990. In a rare personal interview with Gente magazine in 1992, she stated, "Becoming a mother has changed everything. It's given me a new perspective on my work and my life." 1994 brought a return to cinema with SPQR 2000 and a Half Years Ago, a historical comedy that became one of the year's highest-grossing Italian films. Fenech's role as Empress Poppaea showcased her ability to blend comedy with historical drama. By 1995, Fenech had successfully reinvented herself as a versatile actress and budding producer. Her production company, Imagini Cinema, launched that year, produced several successful TV movies. This move into production allowed Fenech to nurture new talent and explore stories that interested her. Throughout this period, Fenech's evolving public image reflected her personal growth. Once known primarily for her physical attributes, she was now respected for her business acumen and artistic choices. As she told Panorama in a 1995 interview, "I'm no longer just playing roles, I'm creating them." behind the scenes of her most controversial film. In 1996, Fenech began work on what would become her most controversial project to date, The Last House on the Beach. The psychological thriller, directed by emerging filmmaker Marco Bellocchio, pushed boundaries with its explicit content and complex themes. Production was fraught with difficulties from the start. Creative differences between Fenech and Bellocchio led to heated arguments on set. Cinematographer Luca Bagazzi later recalled in a 2001 interview with Schiack, "The tension was palpable. Some days we weren't sure if Edwige would return to set." Despite the challenges, Fenech remained committed to the project. She underwent intensive preparation for her role as a troubled psychiatrist, even spending time observing real psychiatric sessions. This dedication impressed her co-stars, with veteran actor Giancarlo Giannini noting, "Edwige's commitment to authenticity was remarkable. She brought a raw intensity to every scene." The film's graphic content caused controversy even before its release. Italian censors demanded significant cuts, leading to a protracted legal battle. Fenech, as both star and co-producer, fought against the censorship. In a press conference at the 1998 Venice Film Festival, she declared, "This film deals with uncomfortable truths. Censoring it would be a disservice to art and society." The Last House on the Beach finally premiered at the 1999 Cannes Film Festival, where it received a polarized response. Some critics hailed it as a masterpiece, while others condemned its explicit scenes. The film's limited release in Italy sparked protests from conservative groups. Despite the controversy, or perhaps because of it, the film became a cult hit. It grossed over 5 billion lire in its limited run and gained international attention. Fenech's performance was widely praised, with The Guardian's film critic Peter Bradshaw calling it a career-defining tour de force. The long-kept secret finally revealed. For decades, fans and critics alike had pigeonholed Edwige Fenech as the sultry star of giallo thrillers and risque comedies. But beneath the surface, a different story was unfolding. In 2000, at a retrospective of Italian cinema in Rome, Fenech hinted at untold chapters in her career. "There's more to my journey than what you've seen on screen," she remarked cryptically to a journalist from Schiack magazine. Over the next few years, industry insiders began whispering about Fenech's behind-the-scenes influence. In 2005, veteran director Pupi Avati let slip in an interview with La Repubblica, "Edwige has been instrumental in shaping Italian cinema for years, in ways few people realize." The turning point came in 2010 when Fenech agreed to an in-depth interview with Vanity Fair Italia. For the first time, she spoke openly about her transition to producing in the 1980s. "I realized I had stories to tell that went beyond my roles as an actress," she revealed. "But I knew that as a woman, especially one known for her looks, I'd face resistance if I tried to step behind the camera." Fenech's revelation sparked a re-examination of her career. Film historians began tracking her uncredited contributions to numerous projects throughout the 1980s and 1990s. In 2015, at the Venice Film Festival, director Giuseppe Tornatore publicly thanked Fenech for her invaluable creative input on several of his films, despite her name never appearing in the credits. The full extent of Fenech's influence came to light in 2018 with the publication of Shadow Mogul, the Edwige Fenech story by film critic Emanuele Crialese. The book detailed how Fenech had quietly produced and script-doctored dozens of films, often using pseudonyms or working uncredited. In 2020, at age 72, Fenech finally broke her silence completely. In a televised interview on RAI1, she admitted, "For years, I let others underestimate me. It was easier to be seen as just a pretty face, but behind the scenes, I was shaping stories, nurturing new talents, and yes, influencing the direction of Italian cinema." Fenech's life after the big reveal. Her confession sent shockwaves through the Italian film industry. Overnight, she transformed from a nostalgic sex symbol to a respected industry veteran. The 2021 Rome Film Festival honored her with a Lifetime Achievement Award, celebrating not just her on-screen career, but her decades of unacknowledged contributions to cinema. In the wake of her revelation, Fenech became an outspoken advocate for women in film. She established the Fenech Foundation in 2022, dedicated to supporting female producers and directors. "I worked in the shadows for years," she told The Hollywood Reporter. Now I want to bring other talented women into the light. Her newfound openness led to a surge of interest in her work. Streaming giant Netflix commissioned a documentary series, The Fenech Effect, exploring her influence on Italian cinema. The series, released in 2023, featured interviews with numerous directors and actors who attested to Fenech's behind-the-scenes impact. In 2024, at age 76, Fenech took on her most ambitious project yet. She publicly announced her directorial debut, Behind the Lens, a semi-autobiographical drama about a former actress turned anonymous producer. The film, starring Margot Robbie as a young Fenech, premiered at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival to critical acclaim. Fenech's late career renaissance also reignited interest in her earlier work. Film schools began including her filmography in their curricula, studying the subtle ways she had influenced productions even as an actress. A 2026 retrospective at the British Film Institute celebrated her evolution from sex symbol to cinematic force. As of 2027, Fenech continues to be a powerful voice in the industry. Her memoir, The Woman Behind the Camera, became an international bestseller. In it, she reflects on her unique journey. I've been so many things: model, actress, producer, mentor, but only now in my twilight years do I feel I can finally be fully myself.